Can't keep my hands to myself. Hands to myself. Can't keep my hands to.
Hey guys, so I'm back with another story time, and I thought you might be interested in hearing this one. It's not too long. Mainly, many of my story times are really long. I like to make them long because I like to watch long story times. But this one is a little bit shorter. In fact, it's really short. But I thought you'd be interested in hearing it anyway. It's kind of disgusting. Even looking back on it now, I'm like, ugh. But I think it'd be cool to like tell you guys about it. Okay, so if you have watched my fake friend story, then you know back in sophomore year, they had actually overbooked most of the dorms in my college. So they had put me and a few other people inside of a hotel that was kind of off campus, but the bus would still like take you to campus and you were still considered like being part of the dorm, if that makes sense. So during that time I had actually stayed inside of like the first floor. I don't even want to say hotel, it was like a motel. Literally you walk out the door and you're outside. So I stayed on the first floor directly looking into like the pool or whatever. But still, it's like you walk and you're outside. So sophomore year, I remember I had like a lot of lecture classes, and it'd be like 3 hours long, and so you'd be hungry in the middle of it. So what I would do is on the way, because where I was, it was by the bookstore, I would stop and get snacks. Like I always got cranberry juice, and I would always get like these Oreo cookies. And so I would eat them in class, and the ones that I didn't eat or the ones that I didn't open or anything like that, I'd leave them in my bag. So I remember one time after class, I hadn't eaten the Oreo cookies, and I came back home and America's Next Top Model was on. So I had opened them up, and I was sitting on my bed, and I was eating them. And I got to like, I think I ate like 3 of them or whatever. So after I had ate 3, I had folded it up and I had put it, it's kind of like a nightstand that has like a bottom shelf and a top shelf. So I put it on the bottom shelf and it was wrapped up, and I was like, okay, you know, I'll just get to it tomorrow, you know, after class. So the next day I had came back, and I remember sitting down because I was done and I wasn't planning on studying after classes. So I had sat down on the bed and turned down the TV again. And I was sitting there watching TV, and I remembered, oh, I have these Oreo cookies. Let me finish them, you know. So I reached down and picked up the Oreo cookies, and I don't know why, I just opened it up, but I wasn't looking at it. I was still looking at the TV, and I'm sitting there eating like one cookie I know I ate completely. Yes, I ate that cookie completely. And I go to eat the next one, and I felt something crawling on my hand. And I looked down, and so I like smacked it away. And when I looked down, literally the entire cookie was like covered with ants. How I could not feel them or see them or didn't even look down, I don't know, but I freaked out. I dropped the cookies. I started screaming and crying. I ran to the sink, and I started like throwing up, and at the same time I'm like trying to get water in my mouth, and I'm like crying and screaming, and I called my mom. I think it was my mom. It was my mom or my sister. And I called her, and I remember calling my best friend too, and I was just like, I ate ants, and I'm like crying and crying. And it took me a while to actually like want to eat cookies, Oreos cookies again. Just thinking about it makes me not want them. But yeah, they were like, and the thing is, it wasn't even like it was on the floor. Like the shelf was like a distance from the floor. So I'm not thinking that the ants or any type of bug is even in my room. But being that it was in like motel, and not like a dorm, I guess that's the reason like how they got in, considering like the door is directly to outside. So it was just disgusting. That was just so nasty. So I probably ended up eating a couple. Like I feel like I ended up eating half the colony, because that second cookie was completely covered with ants, and it was disgusting. So disgusting. But yeah, that's about it. That's my story on eating ants. I suggest for you to look down at anything you eat before you eat it. That might be a good idea, and I have learned my lesson. But that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time, and I know a lot of you guys have been asking me about the professor story time, so I probably will have that one up next if I don't think of something else in between there. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!